doing before you started the business? Like, what did you resign from?
I used to work in an advertising agency.
I used to work for a company called Bain. It was a management consultancy.
And I was at Virgin. Virgin. And as work, I was where I worked. Virgin Cola.
So were any of you sort of not sure when you were resigning? You know, like you'd started careers almost.
Well, I personally was totally dead nervous about it. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I personally started from the assumption it's definitely not going to work, but we wanted to give it a go. We were really fortunate. Our companies were incredibly supportive. They said if it didn't work out, we could have our jobs back. My agency actually gave us an office to work from for the first couple of months for free as well. So we really couldn't have asked for more. That's one of the things we found actually setting up the business in the UK. There's just been so much goodwill. So many people are in your corner and prepared to help. So the lady who was asking about it, I don't know if you're thinking, but I guess my headline advice is, if you're thinking about doing it, then I'd definitely do it, because it is awesome.
I think it sort of naturally feels like this huge great step as you kind of resign and launch your own thing. But actually, it's a kind of, you can make it into a series of smaller, less risky steps. So you might be able to negotiate with your company that you get a sabbatical or 3 months to go and look at something and then can come back. You certainly spend your time thinking before you spend your time spending the money. So there are just certain things that if you get them in the right order, you can make it a series of smaller steps rather than one day having a job and the next day having a huge credit card bill, which we did end up with, but it took us a year to get there.
So you had some good experience as well.
We'd worked for about 3 years after university for sales, or 4 years.
Yeah, but Richard was right when he said earlier, I think after we did the sort of yes and no bins and sort of said, right, we're going to go and do this, and there was definitely that moment of, are we actually going to resign? And only later Richard sort of fessed up that he really thought me and John might have just been playing an incredibly elaborate, long-lasting trick on him just to get him to resign. Stitch him up. Taking 4 months developing a business plan, making smoothies, just a good gag. It was a good gag. It would have been a good gag.
I heard someone recently say you've just got to think of the Dr. Pepper school of philosophy, which is what's the worst that can happen. And I do think there's a certain sense of, even if it doesn't work out, you'll have learnt so much, and even to not get there is still a positive experience. And the only advice that we were given that really hit home is that just don't put your family home on the market to bankroll this. And I thought, that wasn't applicable to us. We didn't have a family home, and our entire assets came down to our CD collections. But I did think things about, you don't risk everything, but risk and reward are inextricably linked.